Hello, everybody. Dr. Lonnie Stewart here from the Healthcare Education Transformation Podcast. Are you a physical therapy student about to start studying for the National Physical Therapy Examination? Or maybe you're a professor, a program director, or clinical instructor who teaches DPT students preparing for the NPTE? Either way, we would recommend checking out our sponsor, NPTE Final Frontier, and the community they've built around preparing for and succeeding on the NPTE. That exam and the preparation that goes along with it can be long, tedious, difficult, and stress inducing, but it doesn't have to be. NPTE Final Frontier has the tactics and resources to help address all of the usual barriers. They even have scholarships to help with NPTE study courses, FSBPT registration fees, and even research opportunities. And if that's not enough, they're even donating to the very first annual HET Podcast Scholarship to be awarded at the end of every year. Go to npteff.com for all of the details and use code HET for 10% off all purchases. Links to both the NPTE Final Frontier and their scholarship options are available in the show notes. And now, let's get ready to learn.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Teach Me Something Tuesday episode of the Healthcare Education Transformation Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. F. Scott Feil. Today's Teach Me Something Tuesday is about what happens when you have a bad break and coming back from it. Essentially, whether you're a student or a professor, you're going to have several breaks a year, right? Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 4. But overall, in between semesters, there's generally a break, anywhere from a couple days to a couple weeks. Well, let's say you go on that break and it doesn't go as you expected. It doesn't go according to plan. You just did not have a great break. You didn't get done as much as you wanted. Had a family member pass away or you got sick or whatever it may be. It just wasn't a great break. I had one of these recently, and that's kind of what prompted this episode. We had an amazing New Year's. We got to go to a Disney vacation with our family. But immediately after New Year's, on our ride home, we all got sick with the Disney germs. We had the flu. The entire family got sick in the car ride home. Shortly after we returned, and my daughter and son and I got back to baseline, my daughter ended up injuring her wrist in basketball. So her season was kind of cut short. I personally did not get nearly as much done as I wanted to over the break, but that was sort of by design. But once I got back, I felt a little overwhelmed because of it. So if you don't get everything done, if it just doesn't go your way, how can you rebound from that so that you still get productive and good return when you start the new semester? Well, the first thing to consider is just taking an inventory of yourself, your health, and your energy. Seeing where you're at, seeing what's working for you, what's not. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating right? Are you exercising? Are you doing all the things you're supposed to take care of yourself, right? You've got to do that self check-in and just make sure that you're doing that. If not, you got to get to it right away. The next step then is to kind of reflect on both the highs and lows of the break, right? So the things that didn't go well, the things that, made it not such a great break, those happen, right? But you can't just focus on those. You've got to focus on the positives as well. So look at both the lows and the highs of the break. What did go right? What did you enjoy? What's one thing you got done, right? If you do that, it'll kind of balance it out a little bit so that you're not stuck, kind of perseverating on the negatives, right? The next tip is to kind of ease back into the term. If you come back and you're feeling overwhelmed, see if you can schedule an extra day of rest break or whatever it may be. And see if you can just take a couple hours off during one of the days to, just kind of get caught back up, whether it be on sleep or on work or whatever it may be. Take an extra day on the weekend to get some stuff done to put you ahead for the next week, whatever it may be. Just try to ease yourself back in, especially at the beginning of the term. Get a fresh start by setting new habits and routines, right? Try changing things up, doing something different that you haven't done before, doing something that you've wanted to do, a new habit or routine, a new exercise program, a new meditation, whatever it may be. By kind of getting these new practices in early, you can kind of establish them as routine and make them part of your everyday life, which can then help for future semesters, future breaks, et cetera, et cetera. And speaking of future breaks, the last tip is to really clarify what you're going to do and what you need for future breaks and what that looks like. That could be something as simple as make sure that I do these 3 things. That could be, make sure that I'm keeping up with my syllabi or getting them done before the break. This way, I don't have to do them during the break. What things do I have to do or accomplish during the break? If you do that, you'll find that for the most part, you'll be able to make the most of your breaks. You'll be able to get the most out of them. You'll be able to kind of figure out what works for you and what you need individually. And if you do that, like I said, it's easier to rebound then from a bad break or a break that didn't exactly go your way. So I hope that was helpful, and we'll see you on the next one. Hello, everybody. Dr. F. Scott Feil here, and we don't do this nearly enough. I wanted to thank you as an audience for being here, for listening to the shows. Without you guys, we wouldn't have anybody to geek out with over education and learning and teaching and educating. So, thank you for being here, for being faithful listeners over the years. Also, if possible, we'd love to ask a favor. We don't do this often, but if you could leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to this podcast, we would greatly appreciate it. It helps boost our rankings and our algorithm and really just helps get this message out to more people out there in healthcare education who may need, some of the episodes and the experts that we interview. So if you could, like I said, leave a rating and review, we would greatly appreciate it. And we will see you on the next show.